online. Now, it took years of hard work and helped bring plants and wildlife back to riverbanks across Cumbria. More than 100 kilometres of waterways have benefited from the work of the Cumbrian River Restoration Partnership, and the project has now been nominated for a prestigious international award. Alison Freeman can tell us more.
Signs of nature recovering. Over the past 15 years, more than 100 kilometres of rivers across Cumbria have been restored, increasing habitats and encouraging dwindling species to flourish. And now the groups behind the work have been nominated for an international award. One of their largest projects was the removal of 150 tonnes of thick black plastic from the River Keekle in West Cumbria. Installed to prevent pollution from a mine below, it ruined natural spawning grounds for salmon and trout and sent plastic particles into the sea. What we're talking about is this stuff, this black plastic, and if you listen, it's actually a lot tougher than you might imagine. We followed the £1 million project extensively, and the change you can see today is dramatic. So, last time we were here, this was all mud. The change is quite spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we've all been taken by surprise at how quickly it's recovered. Most of it has recovered naturally. There was very, very little nature in the vicinity of the river. The fish numbers were nowhere near what you would expect on a river of this size. So now when you look at it and you see the resilience, you see the river flowing unimpeded, flowing naturally. We can see the fish sort of rising on a hot day like this. There's tons of insects, there's loads of birds in the area. And I think now with 5 years sort of hindsight, we can see that it's giving back to nature far more than we ever predicted it would in the first place.
But there's still more work for the Cumbrian River Restoration Partnership programme to do. Over the years, rivers have been straightened to increase farmland. At Cetera Park Farm on the Lowther estate near Penrith, they're restoring wetlands by digging ditches that allow the River Eden's flow back onto its floodplain.
It wasn't the most sort of highly productive agricultural land, you know, and it's made this really brilliant wet habitat instead. We did a bird survey here 5 years ago where we mapped all the breeding bird territories, which was repeated last year, and we saw more than a 300% increase.
What is your favourite bit about this whole restoration?
The unexpected things. This year the floodwaters receded and there was like this bloom of like wild mustard all along the banks in the mud, and then there were caterpillars all over it of kind of white butterflies.
We were just talking to Joe then about the little wins, the everyday things that surprise him. Is this nomination a big win then?
Oh, it's a huge win, isn't it? This is such an amazing achievement. I heard somebody once describe the World International River Prize as the Oscars of river restoration, and I'm so proud of everybody involved.
Nearby at Acorn Bank, another sensitive project to remove a Grade 2 star listed weir, which is in bad condition, is being carried out by the National Trust. It supplies water to the working mill, which dates back to the 1300s.
So this project is removing that weir and replacing it with a series of boulder cascades and pools. That will mean that we can still retain the abstraction off to the watermill, but also it will improve the river for salmon, for white-clawed crayfish and all other species that use it. It's never nature versus humans. It's how do we strike the balance where everybody wins.
The partnership will find out if it has won at the Thies International River Prize Awards next month, but their work continues to have positive effects locally.
Doing lots of this type of work on a large scale in lots of areas will at some point have some flood risk benefits to somebody downstream. So it has that effect of holding back the water on the floodplains over a longer period, but also think about the drought resilience. These type of projects can actually hold water back during these very extreme dry periods that we're suffering at the moment in the UK. And in Cumbria, we're proving that.
Alison Freeman, BBC Look North.